Recording.
All right. Monday means chest day, and this would be June, the 6th or the 7th. Should have looked at the calendar before I tried to say what day it was. But I'm here at Casino Motorsports Park, and I'm just motivated to get to the gym, get my lift on, and go for a run. Obviously, I'm back on the doozy again. This bike just has so much balls. If I just want to try to accelerate, it just wheelies in first a little bit. If I really would take some time and actually learn wheelies, I probably could do a good job at it. I was actually doing fairly good at it until I screwed around and missed my rear brake and looped out on my two-stroke and really hurt myself. That's been, I think that's 3 years ago. Don't you do it. So that kind of weaned me of wheelies like I used to, because, I'd just pull them up and enjoy it, especially out at Hallett. I'd do a lot of wheelies. But I just haven't had the time to spend like I would prefer, just because of all the projects and busyness of life. I did do some drills that I think I'll get back to soon with the two-stroke, just doing it in first gear, kind of practice getting those forks up in the air to where they're getting almost parallel with the ground surface, and just trying to kind of balance it out and get used to that feeling. However, my tailbone continually reminds me of just how badly I hurt myself even that amount of time ago, especially when spending time on, say, my Yamaha. At the track, or even doing a little bit of mild off-roading, I have an aching sense in my tailbone after doing that. Gosh, I wish I could have took that back, or just caught it with that rear brake. But playing games, I just wasn't fast enough. I wasn't practiced enough to be doing that at that speed. The importance of rear brake, so important. And that's what doing the drills at the slower speed teach you, because early on, especially when you're rusty and just not very well practiced like me, when you catch it before disaster, rear brake can be a blessing and a curse, because if you get on it too hard and you're too far forward, you can end up throwing yourself over the handlebars. So body position is critical along with all that. got a motorcycle weekend, lapping days weekend at Pallet coming up. So hopefully that'll be a good outing. Last time it was just so rainy. Dodging subsurface water coming up through the track once it did dry up. I front slid a few times on some of the weepers, which, you know, when I was going every single lapping weekend, that wouldn't be as big of a deal. But still plenty of a big deal. Alright, so I'm in fourth here. Now I'm in third. I think that's often my screw up. I like wheeling over the, even though it's modest, wheeling over the rails, the rail tracks, the crossing. That gets the blood flowing. I had a cup of coffee before I left work, and it was good coffee from the Spice Merchant. So I'm kind of amped right now. Something that I'm fairly pleased with, you know, it's 80 degrees today. How well my jetting's holding up. I could probably stand to have my needle lowered or possibly raised one notch. If you can hear the kind of sputtering when I'm just in the middle points, you might not be able to hear very much of it, but I can detect it when I'm just off of that maintenance throttle. It wants to blub 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 blub. It's not annoying, but I can tell it. But when you have the throttle response, it's kind of hard to go and mess with anything. I'm also tempted to take this to Hallett as my B-bike, but that would mean that I'd probably just ride it the whole time, and that's just no way to be. I pretty much dedicated my Yamaha to being a track bike, since this fulfills my supermoto needs on the street with comparable power, more weight, but I kind of like that. Well, anyway, I'm going to go in here and get my lift on, and we'll see you next time.